So it's Wednesday. It's time to wake up. I believe we were all born to be rich, abundant, and successful. Wake Up Wednesday starts right here, right now. As we continue to thrive through the holidays, the next topic to consider is forgiveness. Forgive ourselves and forgive others. A Course in Miracles says forgiveness is a shift in perception that removes a block in me to love's presence. This week, our special guest will be one of my partners in believing, Ellaine Peck. Ellaine is an art therapist and a life coach. I wanted to start with this reading from the Daily Word. The Daily Word has something on forgiveness every single month. This is the Daily Word for today. So I think that is very appropriate that it showed up today as we're talking about forgiveness. It says, I choose to forgive again and again. Although forgiveness can happen in an instant, it can take years. If I catch myself feeling weighed down by uneasy feelings of simmering resentment, I may take it as an opportunity to forgive again and again, as often as necessary. Forgiveness is my commitment to see the spiritual truth behind troubling circumstance. No matter how painful, I am gentle with myself when I feel pain, sadness, and confusion, even while being willing to forgive. So this is really what it's all about. Thriving through the holidays is forgiveness, self-forgiveness, and self-compassion. So Ellaine, tell us a little bit about you and what forgiveness means to you.
You made a really great point about it's something that is a practice, and we do it over and over again. And my mentor, yours as well, said that if you have a question, if you question whether or not you have forgiveness to do, ask yourself, are you breathing? And that really speaks to me about the fact that it is a process. And sometimes we feel like we've done that work and released that situation and ourselves from that situation, that it can come popping back up again and oftentimes take us by surprise. Then we do the work again, and that's all. And again, sometimes our mind will tell us, well, I thought I had that. And it doesn't mean that you didn't. It just means another piece is coming up to be healed.
Yeah, so how do you use this with your clients? How is forgiveness a part of your practice?
Well, part of it is identifying it, because sometimes we can be really unconscious with it. And I have several different processes that I do with regards to having a loving presence for yourself, identifying the love that you bring, and being willing. I use affirmations and those kinds of things to assist people in recognizing that if I'd known better, I would have done better, and that I deserve to be loved and supported, and continuing to tell oneself, I am enough and I do deserve to be loved and supported. I always add in, especially by myself, because again, that's something a lot of people can skip. They get really focused on forgiving other people, but they don't remember that their innocence and their being enough. So
Yeah, and I think self-forgiveness is one of the big things that people miss. It's like we would never talk to other people the way we talk to ourselves sometimes. And just being able to show that self-compassion and self-forgiveness really goes a long way to help you overcome and forgive other people too. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, and I
Absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
And talking to themselves oftentimes as that younger person, what would you say? And sometimes even that can stay in that judgmental. So I encourage them to, okay, remember it, do you have a 5-year-old in your life? And most of them, even if they don't have children, have little ones in their lives. And would you say that to them? And all of a sudden that kind of catches that, oh, I'm not saying something in my head. I'm not talking to myself about the way that I would talk to a child. And so having them envision themselves as a 5-year-old, that how would you tell yourself in that situation and in the situation that you're in? I was thinking about that your topic when you're doing this, which is about the holidays. And sometimes we're really feeling the separation from our families. Maybe there's a conflict there and so forth. And so you can start to feel a way as to why you're not in contact, and you start to come up at that justification. And again, that's self-judgment. Making
Yeah,
yourself
go ahead.
making yourself wrong about why the split has happened, why the person isn't in your life anymore. And again, having that innocence, connecting to that, if I'd known better, I would have done better. And back to what you were referencing as far as the Course of Miracles. And again, having that consciousness that we're innocent.
Yeah, and then the quote I did from the Course in Miracles last week is that everything is either an expression of love or a call for love, no matter how unskilled. And the no matter how unskilled part is really what has helped me forgive myself and forgive others. I really love this. I'm going to read a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. He said, "We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies." So that is really what it's all about, is finding love for ourselves and finding love for other people as we go about the holidays. One of the coaching programs I do is a 12-week program, and 2 weeks are dedicated to forgiveness. And I started asking people, do you want another week on forgiveness? And ever since I started that, we do 3 weeks on forgiveness every single time. And it's just like one of my clients said, that the forgiveness work that she did made a significant impact in her life and in her relationships. And getting back to the fact that forgiveness is a process and it has to be practiced. And another quote from the Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama says that holding resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So we want to make sure that we are being good to ourselves and allowing other people to be themselves and to be unskilled, and not to judge and hold it against them just because they're a little unskilled.
Absolutely.
So do you have anything?
That thought of we're either showing love or calling for love, and the reverse of that person we're having conflict with, if they're being aggressive or judgmental, that's them calling for our love, for our to show them love. And that has helped me, and it's helped my clients a lot, is to remember that, I don't have to show up for every conflict or conflict. And that's helped as well. And I think about, forgiveness is really connected to guilt and shame. And so guilt and shame are the one thing that really gets us stuck and keeps us in that. And so again, that self-compassion, and forgiveness really starts with compassion. So getting to that piece, be kind and gentle. And oftentimes what I tell people in my practice is that be kind, be patient, and be gentle with yourself. So
yeah, and just noticing, like this morning, I was having some negative thoughts, and it's like, where did this come from? Because it's really not what it was. the conversation was about. It's something behind that, and it's something a little bit deeper. So it's always the first thing is just the awareness and to notice, and then to make a decision to do things differently. And that's how you create a difference in your life and in the world. So I'm going to put it in the chat, in the comments or chat, wherever you are. I have a bunch of forgiveness practices that I've collected over the years. So I invite you to look at the forgiveness practices and pick one to practice. And then let me know in the comments what you're practicing and what happens as a result. I would love to hear what you do with respect to having a little bit more forgiveness this week or this month, this holiday season, the whole season. I think you'll find that a little bit of forgiveness will go a long way to make the holidays better. So here's to creating peaceful holidays through forgiveness. Until next time, dream bravely, act boldly, live vibrantly.
Absolutely. Thanks for including me and inviting me. I appreciate it. And everyone, be kind. Remember this holiday season to be kind, be patient, and be gentle with yourselves. You deserve it.